Day in the life of a trainee clinical psychologist going to London as part of my drug and alcohol placement. Chemsex is when individuals are using substances to facilitate sex. So this could go on for a couple of days. It could be with multiple partners. The drugs used are usually GHB or GBL, methamphetamine or methadone, and it's sometimes called G or T. But sometimes it can be cocaine, it can be ketamine, all different substances. Also, this book about Henrietta Lacks, if you don't know, you need to get to know because it's blown my mind. The purpose of this trip is to think about how we can improve our offer as a drug and alcohol service to chemsex service users. I'm going down to London to learn from the absolute OGs. They have been supporting clients with chemsex use for absolute years, so they've invited me down to see what their interventions look like. A really important part of this project for me was making sure I was being culturally considerate. I really don't want to add to the vibe of being like sensationalized or demonized in like the gay culture. I really want to look at this from the context of like people's lives and why it might be happening. I interviewed service users, I interviewed service providers just to try and think about how can we make sure we're creating a safe space that is person-centred. Also, this is my first time in London on my own, and I walked down to Covent Gardens thinking, yeah, cute, let me get some dinner, let me sit on the grass, have a little cute picnic, and guess what? Covent Gardens is restaurants. I've been duped by London again. So I had to find a little patch of grass and a little bit of lunch on my own, catching a vibe and having to think about what we're going to talk about tomorrow. It's also really important to say that a lot of people engaging in chemsex, they're living functional lives and it's not impacting their day-to-day. This is just to think about the people who are presenting at drug and alcohol service who are wanting that extra support. It was really important for me to think about the context of chemsex in the fact that if someone's not comfortable with their identity, if someone's not comfortable with their sexuality, it can provide a community and it can provide that comfort. So it's not to sort of demonise it and take it away from people. It's just to think, how can we support those who are seeking help? Oh my God, the service in London blew us away. It was such a safe space. It was so lovely to see the way that they're working, the way that their team run, how they make sure that the service users feel listened to. It was amazing and we took so much learning. Ultimately, we thought it would be helpful to have a sort of three-pronged approach, combining harm reduction, psychoeducation, and then thinking about sort of a therapy offer and a sort of therapy/trauma group. What would that look like? Would that be helpful? This was just such an amazing opportunity because, when do you get to go on a little trip? I loved it. I loved going on a little trip. I loved learning from the OGs. I had an amazing time. From this project, I developed a report to give to all the service users that I'd interviewed, to give to my service as form a bit of a recommendation as to what an intervention could look like. And then I ended up in a commissioners meeting with the service providers, commissioners talking about what could be helpful. So that was spooky. We're also looking to get a paper published. And I think the report is being used to look at potentially getting a new member of staff for the team, which is crazy. Also, it was the hottest day of the year. My eyebrows are sweating onto my gym. And that's it. I went home. Bye.